Hold on to your teacup, because this story is hotter than royal gossip has been in a long time. Let's go back to New York, the night the cameras expected to capture another picture-perfect moment between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. But what they caught instead was something else entirely. The sound of a fairy tale quietly falling apart. From the moment they stepped out of that sleek black SUV, something felt off. You could feel the tension through the screen. Harry's jaw was clenched, his movements stiff. Meghan smiled, that perfect practiced smile. But it felt more like armor than joy. The flashes went off. The reporters shouted their names. It looked like every other glamorous red carpet, until one voice cut through the noise. "Stop using our children?" The crowd went silent. You could see the shift in Harry's face instantly. His eyes darted away, his body turned toward the entrance. He grabbed Meghan's arm, not gently, but firmly, and hurried her inside. The cameras caught their smiles, but not the truth behind them. Those weren't smiles of happiness, they were survival smiles. The kind a couple wears when applause turns into accusation. But this moment didn't come out of nowhere. The cracks had been showing for months. Remember that Kevin Costner charity event? The body language said everything. Harry stood distant, cold, while Meghan kept reaching for his hand, trying to hold the scene together, or at least look like it. That was the soft launch of their unraveling. New York was just the sequel. Let's talk about that red carpet clip everyone's analyzing frame by frame. Meghan turns toward Harry with that trained Hollywood gaze, the smile for the cameras, remember the script look. But Harry? He doesn't move. He doesn't glance her way. It's like the spark that once lit their love has completely burned out. If she wasn't holding his hand, you might not even realize they were together. He leans away. He exhales when she speaks. He loosens his hand from hers. Small gestures that say what words no longer can. And the saddest part? Meghan knows, but she doesn't break character, because that's rule number 1 in her world. The show must go on. This event was meant to be their comeback, their powerful return to the spotlight. Instead, it became a live performance of their collapse. The forced laughter, the awkward body language, the unspoken tension, all hidden beneath designer clothes and perfect poses. They walked that carpet like two people attending the funeral of their own fairy tale. The lights were bright, but the connection was gone. To understand why Harry looked so emotionally distant, you have to rewind to Paris. That's where the real fracture began. Paris was supposed to be Meghan's grand re-entry. Luxury brands, front row seats, cameras flashing. But behind the glam, fashion insiders whispered that her outfit wasn't gifted. It was borrowed. In the high fashion world, that's quietly humiliating. Because borrowed means you're not valuable enough to be dressed. It wasn't glamour anymore. It was desperation in designer heels. And then came the infamous tunnel scene. Yes, that tunnel. The Pont de l'Alma, where Princess Diana lost her life. Meghan's team filmed her there, smiling softly, wrapped in a scarf, walking through the same passage that changed royal history forever. When people questioned it, Meghan said she didn't realize the significance of the location. But everyone who knows her story knew better. She studied Diana like a textbook. That tunnel wasn't an accident. It was a choice. To Meghan, it was symbolism. To Harry, it was sacred ground, turned into content. That moment shattered something inside him. Not because of one clip, but because it crossed an invisible line. Behind closed doors, there was shouting, anger, confusion. Harry reportedly demanded to know how she could turn his mother's tragedy into a PR stunt. Meghan brushed it off, calling it therapy. "It's not that deep," she said. But to him, it was. It wasn't just a video, it was personal, painful, and unforgivable. That was the fight that ended something inside him. Not loudly, but quietly. When love turns to exhaustion, silence becomes survival. And that silence followed them to New York. When Meghan reached for his hand, he didn't pull away. But he didn't hold it either. That wasn't indifference, it was emotional fatigue, the kind that comes after too many arguments and too few resolutions. Meghan later tried to reframe that Paris clip as a healing moment, but insiders called it damage control. "She turned his grief into a storyline," one said. And maybe that's when Harry realized the truth. That what once looked like love had become performance. By New York, he wasn't angry anymore. He was empty. The man who once defended her against the entire world had finally stopped defending the marriage. Because what the cameras caught that night wasn't awkwardness. It was resignation. Two people who know it's over, but aren't ready to say it out loud. And there's another reason they stay together. A quieter one. That royal title. For Meghan, Duchess of Sussex isn't just a title. It's her brand, her currency, her protection. Without it, she's just Meghan Markle again. And in Hollywood, that name doesn't carry the same magic. Insiders whisper that King Charles has quietly discussed stripping them of their titles altogether. It hasn't happened yet, but Meghan knows how fragile that thread is. Every public event, every photo op, every speech, it's not just attention, it's insurance. For Harry, those titles mean something else. They're what's left of the world he gave up, a reminder of the family, the duty, and the legacy he walked away from. Leaving her now would mean admitting it was all for nothing. So they stay. She for relevance, he for pride. The smiles, the hand-holding, the eye contact, it's choreography now. Because when the lights go down and the cameras stop clicking, what's left isn't love or loyalty. It's an image, one built on a title that's already slipping from their grasp. Every fairy tale ends differently, some with fireworks, others in silence. For Harry and Meghan, it's the latter. No dramatic press release, no public breakup, just fewer appearances, shorter smiles, and a quiet fade into different worlds. Because sometimes love doesn't explode, it just runs out of air, and maybe that's how this story ends.